Sri Jagannath Baldev Suprema Sudarshan Ki Jai. Okay, prayers. Devotees. Om Jnanatimram Dasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinam Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharane Vishesha Shunyavati Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivatsa Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tam karoti vachalam phangam landaite kirim yatrapasam mandhe Sri Gurum Paramanandamasavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Okay. Welcome to all the devotees. Thank you for attending this Bhagavad-gītā session. Okay, I'm reading Bhagavad-gītā 9.6 in the matter of the most confidential knowledge. Yatakshastito nityam vayu sarvatrago mahan tata sarvani bhutani mattante padarya. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere, rest always in the sky. All created beings rest in me. Next verse, Prabhu. Okay, I'm reading next verse. We read verses and we'll discuss. Otherwise, okay, 7 verse 7. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpado visrajam aham. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I created them again. Verse number 8. Prakritim swam avasthabhya visarjhami punah punaha bhuta gramam yimam krishnam avasam prakriter vasat. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again. And under my will, it is annihilated at the end. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So in last verse we discussed so Krishna is telling that everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence, although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of the cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. So, we know that. So we understood that like he is the maintainer and sustainer, and the entire material manifestation is created, and if he wants, he can distract and destruct. Not distract, he can destruct. So there is no difference between his mind and himself, as there is a difference between ourselves and our present material mind. Yeah, we can compare. So, but in this present today's verses is saying, understand that as a mighty wind blowing everywhere, rests always in the sky. All created beings rest in me. So we have to understand clearly that everything rests on him. The continued existence and functioning of all moving and non-moving entities depends on Krishna's will. The Lord gives an example that, so the great air which cannot support itself, situated in the great ether which also cannot support itself, moves everywhere since they have no supporting itself. Power of their own. Their existence is enabled by my will alone. Krishna is saying that everything is, even moving, non-moving, all depending on my will. Who is sharing this? I mean, okay. And movement takes place through the Paramatma within. This is understood from this Shruti. So, yad dishavita vata pravate pavate. Out of fear of the Lord, the wind blows. And Taittiriya Upanishad is saying that, and Prabhupada very clearly mentions in the purport. And he has mentioned different purpose, like Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and he is mentioning Brahma Samhita. So, just as the air exists and moves in the ether, by my will understands that all beings are situated in me. He is saying Matstani, Matstani. Stani means situated. Mat means Krishna's. It's, everything is situated in Krishna's will. So, how do we understand everything is like, in material aspects, we think that, okay, Krishna is also like human being. He is having 2 hands and 2 legs and the same like our body. So how, like, everything generates, how everything like, emanates from him. So this is beyond their conception. That's what, like, so when we read Bhagavad-gītā, we can understand clearly that Krishna is telling that, even Brahma Santa, Lord Brahma is saying that Ishvara Parama Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. He's telling that for everything is coming from you, and you are the reason for everything. And Adi and like beginning and end, everything is emanating from you. So how do we understand how, like, so we can see that, okay, a person has a certain limit, age limit. Okay, we know how do we born, and we know when we leave body. So, but we don't know where we go, because we have limited capacity. If we use properly our this purpose of this body and purpose of the life, so we will achieve the perfection of the life. Otherwise, then we don't know where we land. So, but Brahma, he is also having age limit. The age is for us, Krishna has given is like 100 years. But in Kali Yuga, what happened? We have exploited our lives, our own lives, not only others. So in the experiments we do in a different aspects, and sometimes we destroy our free will and freedom by utilizing in a wrong direction, wrong purpose to fulfilling our desires and satisfaction of our body. Because of all this, we exploited our own life and we degraded our lifespan. It became very chaos. So, but Brahma is not like that. He has his 100 years perfect. That 100 years, he lives. But for us, we don't know 50 years or 60 years, or even I may leave any moment my body because of my own karma I have created. I have done so many sinful activities because of that. So we don't know which side the aparadha, like upadrava comes and takes me away in my life. So this is a, like, we have to understand clearly. So Krishna is telling that, so everything is Yadvishavata pavate. It is out of the fear of the Supreme Lord, and that the wind is blowing. So this is a description of the movement of the sun. We can see that it is said that the sun is considered to be the eye of the Supreme Lord. At the same time, moon also. In 15th chapter, Krishna says that Supreme Land, and that has immense potency to diffuse heat and light. Still is moving on its prescribed orbit. See, sun is moving in his orbit. At the same time, is not stopping to give us light, his light. He is giving 12 hours sunlight and 12 hours moonlight. So when direction changes, then automatically, so we get moonlight. When direction changes, so we get sunlight. So some other we are getting light, but if imagine if we don't have this light, how miserable our life become. In this, you go through this after, like, 14 planets, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. So Bhuloka, you go underneath, down the planets of this Bhuloka, then these lokas, we don't have sunlight, we don't have moonlight, then life is so miserable. So we are fortunate enough in this even earthly planet. Some of the nations, they don't have sunlight. And some of the nations, they have sunlight and they don't see moon. And sometimes it appears that sun and moon in a same, like, in same time. At the same time, the sun doesn't disappear. That disappear means sunset doesn't happen, especially in North Pole countries. I have experienced Norway and UK, and all UK, like sunrises around 4:30 in the morning, and sunset around 9:30, 10 in between. And sometimes sun doesn't come itself. He comes maybe 10-15 minutes as a guest, then immediately cloud forms. These all are miserable conditions. These are miserable conditions. So we have to understand the purpose of the life. So Krishna is telling clearly, is making sure that, so because we don't have knowledge, is telling to Arjuna to make us to understand. Actually, Arjuna knows he is a friend of Krishna, is well trained by, so he is friend of Krishna, he knows everything. To make us successful in our purpose of the life, Krishna is explaining through Arjuna. The Vedic literature, we can find evidences that this material manifestation, which appears to us to be very wonderful and great, but we don't follow because we don't have faith and we don't have people who can give us guidance. So we have to surrender to a proper bona fide spiritual master. Through spiritual master, the knowledge transforms, and we can overcome this life cycle of death, disease, old age, and birth. So under the complete control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this will be further explained in the last, like, so we can understand last verse is saying that this chapter will say that more explanation clearly, but we will understand here. So in the next verse, it is saying that, O Kunti, O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. So we are just discussing about, like, Brahma's age. Brahma, in one day, he has two kalpas. Day is one kalpa and the night is one kalpa. Like that, in one day is equal to 430,000 years in earthly years. So we are struggling here to sustain for hardly 50 to 60 years. So what we have to understand? So Prabhupada explains clearly here. I'll tell you that. So Prabhupada says that kalpakshaye punastani kalpadho visajya amhi ahum. Now this particular verse is saying that we have been discussing the since last so many verses and different verses in the Bhagavad-gītā. So whole cosmic manifestation, it is not permanent. We have to understand that. So even this manifestation, we are not permanent. We don't know what will happen after 50 years, but we don't experience. But 42,000 years, like 432,000 years is this Kali Yuga lifespan. We are just past 5,000 years. That means 7,000 years is left. So after that, then it is saying that, see, 100 years after, even Brahma leaves the body. So for us, 100 years he has given. So like we have to understand that the lifespan is very less. And when time comes, everyone has to leave his body. Like that, this planet also have lifespan. So if Krishna wants, he will make us like he will continue. Otherwise, he will distract. He will distract this. Sorry, distract. Annihilated, and whole energy is wound up into the body of the Supreme Lord. We can see in the Paramatma Sandarbha, it says that clearly explains Jiva Goswami. I'll just give one understanding regarding this. When this Brahma lifespan finishes, so this whole cosmic manifestation become filled of water. This Brahmanda become filled with water. It is in a just egg, when hen, like rooster produces egg. But initially it will be in a liquid and all. When it started hatching, it become what is this? The foam will become stagnant. Then slowly this the changes starts. Then it become futile starts and all. Before futile, that it will become solid. Like that, this whole world, this Brahmanda become solid. So when it is depends on Krishna, if he wants to start again, then he will release. Otherwise, till he gives permission, this will be in the same position. So whoever has done their devotional services and go back to Godhead, they will not be experiencing like no. So, and all living entities will be living. All living entities, whoever has not gone back to Godhead, they will shifted to different planet and based upon their karma. And as soon as once this is activated, then immediately all will come back and struggle. So thus we have to understand that how we can utilize this Krishna consciousness and make sure that, so this should be our, we don't know how many lifetimes we have gone through it. Definitely, if you are come here means we have gone through so many millions of lifetimes, but we got an opportunity. At the same time, this is a wonderful opportunity as a human being because of Krishna has given us intelligence. That intelligence makes a difference among all the living entities out of 84 species, 84 lakh species. So human beings, 4 lakh species. In 84 lakh species, human beings are 4 lakhs. In the 4 lakhs, how many 4 lakhs varieties of human beings? In these 4 lakhs varieties of human beings, how many are utilizing in a proper direction? That we have to understand. So that's what this, like, as soon as we are becoming contacting with this material nature, so our life, we are detached from Krishna. We are, why we are detached from Krishna? We have the attachment towards other material elements. The material elements will not progress us to become like or towards Krishna consciousness. So it leads us to fall down and engross ourselves into material nature. So it comes out and again it winded up. Jagat avyakta murtina sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamukam. The Prakriti is not independent. You have to understand. The Prakriti is not independent. Only the independent is the Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. We feel that we are celebrating today the Independence Day. So we are happy for that. But our real independence is that we are not this body, we are soul. We are the servant of the Krishna. But the purpose of life is to become servant of the Krishna and servant of the Krishna. So when we understand this, then we get real independence. Okay, this is also one sense good because if we would have been same that rule like before independence, then definitely would have not become devotees, would have not experience this devotional services, definitely. So Krishna has a plan for everything. So today, fortunately, is our Independence Day. So Prabhupada says that during independence, like struggle and fights happen. They're fighting against the British rule, East India Company. So Prabhupada was trying to tell Mahatma Gandhi to the importance of Bhagavad-gītā. He wrote him a letter, but he did not read it. He did not receive, maybe he received or not, but he never replied back. Definitely, if he would have read, then he would have followed what Prabhupada said, because he didn't do that. Then rest is in the history. So Prakriti means nature. It is dependent on the Supreme Lord. When he desires or when the time is, he gives a chance. The Prakriti, this material cosmic manifestation, is meant for the conditioned souls. We are all conditioned souls. We are Nitya Baddhas. We are not Nitya Siddhas. So our Nitya Baddhas, to become qualified to go back to Godhead is only happens by doing sadhana bhakti. There is no chance that we sleep and we get up by that time. So we will have some siddhis, we will have some natural powers, we will become powerful and we will control, we will go back to that. It will never happen like that. We have to struggle, but good thing is that our endeavors, if we put our endeavors in right direction, so definitely we will achieve this Krishna Loka, through Krishna consciousness, which we do sadhana bhakti. So the Prakriti, this material cosmic manifestation is meant for the conditioned souls. Krishna is saying that, and this manifestation is given a chance so that we can return back home, back to Godhead, to our eternal Father. Otherwise, this Prakriti, bhutva pralayate, as we have studied in the 8th chapter, so it is created, that is maintained, and it is annihilated. Kalpakshaye punastame kalpado visarjami aham. So each creation is called a kalpa, and it after kalpa, after similar years, one kalpa, that is not possible for us to calculate how many years, but some idea is given in the kalpa exists so many, like for so many years, and we have got calculation for the day of the years is just like 365 days a year, in a year. So the duration of one day is given 24 hours. 24 hours, and each hour is given 60 minutes, and each minute have a 60 seconds. Like if you go like that, and gatikas and per seconds, or so many calculations, it is mentioned in Bhagavatam. In the 3rd canto, we can hear actually Prabhupada says that clearly. In the Bhagavad-gītā, as a 4,300,000 of years into 1,000, that is calculation of one day of the whole cosmic creation. One day of cosmic creation. So definitely we have to understand that. So somebody is, that's what we are not, okay, we might have come, we means at least some so-called scientists, so this creation has come by chance. It doesn't come by chance, but we might have come by chance. So there is a proper culture in, as Samskara Saradipika, it says that, like, and in those days in India, they used to follow samskaras to beget a child. So Krishna is definitely, he has so much love on us. He actually, the Krishna creates us to understand our nature, but still we don't understand because we rely on our body and this material nature. So we, by default, because of our uneducation towards Krishna consciousness, we don't realize this. We are this soul. We feel that we are this body. So we are concerned how to get out of this temporary life. So when we have this concern, then we are definitely, we should have hankering for the eternal life. So how to get out of this temporary life? That should be our problem. There is no use for calculating how many years one kalpa, one duration of this cosmic manifestation is maintained. But our concern is that whether we can get out of these clutches of material nature and get into our spiritual nature and have our eternal blissful life. That is our problem. If we, our culture, the Krishna consciousness seriously we have taken, then even after annihilation of this body, we can get into this spiritual body, spiritual nature, and we are also spirit. Therefore, there is no difference. There is no question of birth and death. That is the problem. Prakritim swam avasthabhya visarjami punah punah bhutam gramam imam krishnam avasham prakriter vasat. We are completely under the grip of stringent laws of material nature. Yeah, I will give one more example. Sorry, that example. So we all know that we are hearing like this place war is happening, that place war is happening. Actually, they are doing war for. Some people are doing war for only for position to show their superiority and the supreme control. But at the same time, our next country, some fights are happening. Two different religions. That other religion is struggling to. They are fighting against one other people for their sustainability. But others, they are doing war for their supreme power. They want to have control. See how things, but still the reason, the cause is same people, because of their purpose is that only business. They never, they only create all the peace organizations, and they only appoint they only give, oh, sorry, power gone. 1 second, just I'll switch on light. Normally we don't lose power in Mayapur, but today, first time I'm experiencing power gone. Sorry for that. I don't know. I hope you can all hear me, right? So, and being situated in Prakriti, which belongs to, Krishna is saying that, which belongs to me, I create again and again all the entities according to their previous impressions, beyond their control, by my will. So, power came, Krishna's mercy. And we have to understand, it is clearly says that Prakriti is made out of three gunas, or transforming into like Mahattatva and other elements by Krishna's will and different cycles of time. So, like he created 4 types of living entities, like devas, humans, animals, and plants. How does this take place? It takes place by the power of impressions of previous karmas. The power of previous karmas. Prakrite vasat. In this verse, you're saying that beyond their power, avasam. That is, by the will of the Lord, who has inconceivable Shakti and detachment from all of that. So, Krishna is saying that, though I do this, I have no contact with Prakriti at all. Nor do I feel exhaustion at all from doing it. Okay, we can clearly relate this to when Krishna was in Vrindavan. So, this last Dwapara Yuga, fortunate, we are so fortunate, because in the last Dwapara Yuga, Krishna appeared. At the same time, immediately next, this Kali Yuga, Mahaprabhu also appeared. So normally it won't happen. Once in a one day of like only once happens in his Brahma's one day. That means out of so many, like this many years of Brahma, only one time happens. This, fortunately, in this Kali Yuga, we got Krishna's appearance, and I mean Dwapara Yuga, then this Kali Yuga, Mahaprabhu appeared to give us Krishna consciousness. this material world is a manifestation of the inferior energy, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has inferior and superior energies. This especially material. What is this? Something is popping. This has already been explained in several times. At the creation, the material energy is let looses all the Mahatattvas, into which the Lord, as the first Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu, enters. He lies within the casual ocean and breathes out innumerable universes. Like how balloons came now. He breathes out. Thank you for who gave us balloons. It reminded me immediately. So, and into each universe of Lord again enters in as a Garbhodakashayi ocean. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. From that Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, lotus stem comes. From that lotus stem, the lotus flower comes in. Then through that Brahma emanates. Brahma manifests. Then still further manifests this one, Kshirodpasai Vishnu, and that Vishnu enters into everything. So even into the minute atom, this fact explained in this verse, we can understand that. Here he enters into everything. Now, as far as the living entity is concerned, so they are impregnated into this material nature. And as a result of their past states, they take different positions. That's what even Paramatma Sandarbha says that. So till then, it will be filled with water. So it just filled with water. Then when Krishna wants, then automatically all water go away. Then again that sprouts comes, like grass, plants, everything will take birth again. Thus the activities of this material world begin. The activities of different species of living beings are begun from the very moment of the creation. So it is not that all is evolved. The different species of life created immediately along with the universe, man, woman, plants, four we already discussed. Demigods, human beings, plants, and other species like animals. So everything is simultaneously created because whatever desire the living entity had at the last annihilation are again manifested. When we desire, when the material annihilation is happening, if we desire Krishna, then we'll go back to Godhead. If we desire something material things, so some other, so we don't have a choice to go back to Godhead. If we, because then the moment we desire something that other than Krishna, then we are out of the pathway. What we already discussed, the state of being in their past life, the past creation is simply manifested again. And all this side done simply by Krishna's will. This is the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A small boy, he was just 3 months old boy, he killed Putana. He was 7 years old boy, he lifted Govardhana hill on a single tip of the small finger. So we have to understand that. And at the same time, he manifested 16,108 Krishnas in a Dwaraka, in all the in Dwaraka palaces of his queens, and he is doing different pastimes. In one place he is taking rest, in one place he is playing with kids, one place he is having his pastimes with his wife. That only possible by Krishna. Not nobody can do that. Even we see some twins are there. The twins, do they perform same activity? Do they have powers? But Krishna, if he wants, he can perform same activity, same things. He has no, like, after creating different species of love, he has no connection with them, and the creation takes place to accommodate to the inclinations of the various living entities, and so the Lord does not become involved within it. He never interferes. He has given free will, so he lives for us, and we have to decide. We already discussed so many times. We know that. So we have options. We have to go office, metro, our own car, bike, and public transportation. The easy way is that metro. This Krishna consciousness is like metro, because the traffic signals, this all will distractions and kills our time, and we don't know when we reach. Sometimes especially in our Bangalore, so unimaginable topic will be there, the traffic. So we can't even. Sorry, I'll share one time. So I was in electronic city. I was working in one company. So we are planning to go to Udupi. That Republic Day was there. So Friday evening, then Saturday, Sunday, Monday will be Republic Day. So 3 days holidays. So we are 25 boys. We decided to go to Udupi. All are went. So I have started from office 4 hours before to reach railway station. But still I missed the train from the electronic city. So then immediately, so I came to bus stop, but a majestic bus stop. I took a bus and I reached before them. But we can experience these kind of things. Okay, because it is a local, so we have option. So I could reach to Udupi. So here, that part, we have to understand this material world. We never understand how Upadravas comes up, like this obstacles comes in which way. We have to understand that we have options here. So Krishna consciousness is the best option. So one who accepts this Krishna consciousness and takes advantage of it and utilizes properly, their life becomes successful. So then we can understand in the next verse. So all this, like these things, Prakriti cannot bind him. How, like, no, Prakriti cannot bind Krishna, and is ever detached from all these material activities. Even though he is sitting in a neutral position, so he is beyond all this. So we have to make sure that how we are going to utilize this. Today we have one, at least today we plan, okay, we don't know what will happen. At least like next minute, we can't expect. So at any moment, we may leave this body. So we have to keep ourselves 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. Definitely it is impossible, but it is possible also. By seeing few devotees, we can experience that. When Prabhupada was in this planet, he was taking only 2 hours rest in a day. The remaining 22 hours he was spending for preaching and writing books, different activities he was doing. So it may not possible for us even for doing in a one single day. At this moment we want to do, it may not possible in at this moment, but we can endeavor for it. So something I can give some time for Krishna consciousness to become, to understand our real situation and our real nature. So when we are in that direction, definitely our endeavor makes us to become successful and makes us to become perfectionists. Okay. So the only one thing shelter is this in Kali Yuga, we have to take Krishna's shelter, and especially in this Kali Yuga, this age, so this golden age period, 10,000 years, already 5,500 years passed, and remaining 9,500 years left. So in this remaining 9,500 years, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra works. After that, something may come that is Krishna's will. It is not our wish or our problem. Definitely, it should be our problem. If we take birth again after 9,500 years, then if we don't have this Krishna consciousness or Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then something might be there, but we may not have the day. I mean, today we have this comfort life, we may not have that time. What to talk about tomorrow, we will not have the same comfort life. So we have to understand that to take shelter of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One who takes the Krishna shelter, they never fail to attain him. Different. If we take shelter of something which is man-made creation, the rooftop or tree, then there is no guarantee. So it will sustain. Somebody may come and put bomb. So there is no roof. There is no roof means there is no we also. No existence for us. So we got this opportunity. Let us utilize this opportunity to become Krishna consciousness and read this Bhagavad-gītā, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita of other granthas which we got our treasurer. We are so fortunate to being a Indian. So let us utilize all of these, Vedas and Shastra. So elevate ourselves, become Krishna consciousness, and go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. So any comments or any suggestions, any questions? I hope it makes you all clear. And we can discuss tomorrow and further, as we have 9 more chapters, we'll understand and more clearly, thoroughly Prabhupada explained what is the meaning of life, what is meant for life. Okay. Vancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhubhi vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki. Entandi. Oh, why nobody is talking? Are we doing monovrata?
Jai. Jai.